I don't think anyone ever expects to wake up one morning and find themselves caught in the middle of a war between two secret organizations. I know I didn't. But here I am. On one side are the Templars, better known these days as Abstergo Industries. They're in the business of control. Politics, economics, technology. They won't stop until every single one of us serves them. Literally. Fighting against them are the Assassins, a group dedicated to safeguarding humanity's free will. I was born into the Brotherhood.
All right, we are talking about Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I got my own little Brotherhood right here. I got Mr. Murphy, the Murph.
Howdy.
I got Professor Jeff over there.
Salutations.
Salutations, sir. Salutations to you. And then I got my man, Nick Hodges, the Hodgepodge. How you doing, Nick?
Good evening. I'm doing fine,
Good,
sir.
Good evening to you too, sir. How are you? The only one that we are missing is that bastard Kevin. Kevin was talking a lot of shit, man. He just said, hey, you know what? You guys go ahead and review it. I'm not playing the game. You guys do it because I don't sneak. I don't sneak. I don't do stealth. I mean, that sounds crazy. Yeah, like Kevin just, and he'll tell you, it's like no matter what I do, I'm the guy that will always get caught. I cannot sneak or do anything in these games. So we are talking about Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Now this, you can call this Assassin's Creed 3 maybe if you want, but it's not really considered to be a sequel to the first game. It's more of a direct sequel to the second game.
It's almost like an extension of the second
Yeah.
game, really.
Yeah, and some people have problems with that and some people don't. But in this game, where before you spent a lot of time in Renaissance Italy, it's more centered in Rome in this game. And the game picks up from the last game where you play, what's the name of the lead character? Ezio?
Ezio.
Ezio.
Auditore.
Yeah, all of a sudden you people are Mario from Super Mario. You're not. You're just doing.
There's a difference between Italians and Italian Americans. So, like Italian Americans say, "Oh, yo, Marie, come down here," and this is more like the smooth Italians.
No, this is not the smooth Italian. This is that fucking plumber with that big bushy mustache talking, man.
Some greasy plumber from Brooklyn. He's not Italian. He's some dumb thug. Sorry, Brooklyn. I'm sure you're all not a bunch of Marios. Yeah.
I think the
but
people
have
in
you guys
Brooklyn.
caught the Mario references? They had one in Assassin's Creed 2, and then they've got an achievement in here in this one that's another Mario reference. It says one of the achievements is your princess is in another castle, but it's in Italian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, and then in Assassin's Creed 2, there's some guy, and he says, "It's a me, a Mario."
At first, I thought you were gonna say like you jump off of a rooftop and land on a turtle somewhere, and splatter it. But
nope. Have you gotten to the where you take a lot of mushrooms and run around Rome screaming naked?
Just stabbing random people.
Yes.
No, have not got to that level yet. Apparently, you're the only one finding all these, and I think you playing another game. I think you were the one playing this on mushrooms.
It was 4:00 in the morning, and I was half a bottle of scotch deep, so it could happen. Then I realized I hadn't even turned on the Xbox.
Yeah, well, Ezio in this game, he is continuing his battle with his fellow assassins against the Templars, and in this case, he's going up against a very powerful family called the Borgia family. And in this game, to defeat this family, or at least to help you defeat this family, you have to go around and destroy 12 towers. And you don't really have to destroy all 12 towers, and all these towers belong to the Borgia family, by the way. But if you do destroy them all, it'll help you take part or take a stronghold on Rome. You'll be able to rebuild parts of Rome, whether it be with building barracks for soldiers, or building blacksmith shops, or places where you can get medicine. You can even build up a brothel in this game. So, and you just take more control of Rome, which means if you can take control of Rome, you don't have as many guards walking around. And anybody who's played these games know that anytime you run into a guard, if you're not sneaking by or being as stealthy as you can be, then you're on for a big fight. So, to help you out, also in this fight against the Borgia family, you can hire civilians in the game that you help out, and you can train them to be your fellow assassins. which is something I think that is different from any previous Assassin's Creed game. Now, I didn't play Assassin's Creed 2, so if anybody wants to elaborate on this a little bit more, please do.
Wait, you haven't played Assassin's Creed 2?
No, I played Assassin's Creed 1, and I got a little bored with it. Now, I heard that they made some vast improvements on the game in Assassin's Creed 2, but I never got around to it.
The first one was really repetitive.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, yeah. Whereas this one, that they there's a lot of variety of side missions, and in this one, it felt like each side mission was completely different in its own right. Like, I thought it was gonna be like, Undead Nightmare, like it would just kind of be like an expansion pack, but it's not. It's a whole game in its own right.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting, that it was just going to be like a branch of Assassin's Creed 2. And if you haven't played Assassin's Creed 2, which I didn't either, you should probably jump on and read the Wikipedia. Otherwise, you're just going to be lost.
Oh, yeah, because the story in this is, that's just part of the story that we were telling about. Yeah. A lot of, what they fail to mention a lot of times with this game is that it's not a history game or a period piece.
Where in Rome is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, it's a science fiction story actually. The whole backdrop for the game is it's set in 2012, which is ridiculous because we all know we're going to be dead by that point.
Oh, by the way, quickly, anyone listening who's going to complain like, "Oh, spoiler alert, spoiler alert!" Like, if this is a fucking direct sequel to a game, so you shouldn't even be listening to this if you haven't played Assassin's Creed 2.
No.
So, yeah,
I don't even know if you'd be able to understand this game fully without playing Assassin's Creed 2. I mean, it picks up like 1 second after Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, because
I don't understand.
Because Undead Nightmare, I'm sorry, there were a few people on Undead Nightmare saying, you were spoiling the game. You shouldn't talk about Red Dead Redemption. I was like, shut the fuck up, man. It's a fucking set in the same world. It's a sequel, in its own right. So, why are you even listening to this if this isn't
a little punchy today?
I know, Jesus, what you get into, man? But you're right. You're right, Nick. Some people, they're so spoiler sensitive that you would say something like, "Assassin's Creed, Brotherhood." Like, don't tell me the rest of that title. I don't want any spoilers on that. Okay? And it's like, it's the fucking title, man. I mean, you don't really you're that sensitive about spoilers, but. I mean, even if we are spoiling something for you, by the time you pick up this game, you're not going to know what's happening because they pick up right in the middle of the science fiction part of this game because it opens up with you playing a character named Desmond, and you're like wondering, well, why am I not this cool assassin? Well, that's because it's a present day or a future story actually, where you're fighting this secret organization, the Templars, in modern day, and this is a battle that's been going on for centuries. And to be able to help in that fight, Desmond is an actual. He is a direct descendant of this assassin that you play in this game. So in order to help in the fight, they have to access his memories using this thing called the Animus. And
genetic memories, like reincarnation, kind of. It's very Inception-y.
Yeah.
Even though the idea and everything was established long before Inception, that it's got some elements in that they start dealing with memories within memories and everything, and that whole aspect of it works. But it's completely unnecessary.
The destiny of man lays in our grasp. We will lead their hearts and minds to absolute peace. Those who deny us fight for the wrong side of history and will not survive. Behold now the promise of victory in the visions of the Animus. Join us. The future awaits. The Templars await!
If you're thinking you're getting into the story and you're like, I don't understand, just keep fucking playing. It doesn't matter. I mean,
yeah, that was what I was like. I was just like, whatever. Just tell me who to stab, Mario. Okay.
Well, let me ask Korey. Did you play it all the way through to the end?
No, I did not. Like the main character in this game who goes off and hires fellow assassins to do his deeds. That's what I got you guys for. Because I know you will all finish the game before I do. I just have too much shit to do. And
that is awesome. I'm gonna put that on my business card.
Press L2 to explain shit.
Yeah. Please do get a business card that says video game review assassin. I'll just put assassin down for all I care.
I just finished the game an hour ago, so.
Did it make sense? Did the ending make any sense?
It did, only because I'm a big fan of this franchise. I played Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 and this one.
Well, I have to tell people, with me not having, first of all, I haven't finished the game, and me not having played Assassin's Creed 2, if you're just new to this, I mean, listen, it's a great looking game. They have created a world that actually feels like a world more than a lot of games that I play. And I mean, when you're walking across the non-playable characters and all the background characters in this game, they actually feel very, and I hate to sound, like I'm trying to be all smart and everything, but they feel very organic to this world, and they feel very natural. I mean, when I pass by these people, I'm not always thinking like, why is that person just walking into a wall, or why are they doing the robot in the middle of the street? So I really like that about it. It's a huge world. However, the combat in this game and trying to figure out what to do, it takes a little time to get used to. Now, I'm not speaking for everybody, but for me, I had to go through there are virtual training sessions in this game that you can do, and I had to play those a lot in order to get used to the combat in the game. Because there's so many means of combat, and a lot of it has to deal with blocking and just counter attacking. And getting that down is a skill itself. And while you can go through and kind of get through with button mashing when you get into the heat of a fight, in order to fight effectively, you really have to master those techniques of, in my situation, I was playing on the PS3. You have to learn how to coordinate the square button with the R1 button a lot. So
the controls are a little too dense and clumsy because you've got a lot of stuff that's context sensitive. I was playing it on the Xbox, and the B button does like 4 different things depending on what you're standing next to, or if you're falling, or if someone's looking at you the wrong way. And I was trying. There's a level where you're trying to open up close these gates on this fortress, and you're cranking this thing while a bunch of French dudes are attacking you, and you have to hit the B button to crank the gate. So I was trying to do that, but there were bodies all around. And so while I was pressing the B button, I kept accidentally picking up a dead French guy, or I would pick up a weapon, or I would start to crank for a second, and then I would, start doing the robot like Korey was saying. It was ridiculous. Well, so frustrating.
It is very sensitive. I mean, there are certain missions that you have to do where they say, catch that guy who just stole something for you, or catch that guard before they get to a certain area. In order to do that, you have to press, and now again on the PS3, you have to press like the R1 button, and you have to press the X button to sprint. Now, unfortunately, if you're near an object, that pressing that X button will also make you grab onto stuff. So it's like there would be a moment where I would run after this guy, and it was a time-based thing. And all of a sudden, Ezio would just, aha, I'm going to grab onto this wall, and I'm going to climb, and it's just like, man, I just lost some time trying to get this guy. So yeah, a little sensitive on the controls, but not too much. I mean, it just really requires you to just use a little more skill. You can use that as an excuse if you want.
It can be frustrating, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it's a very tactical game. I mean, this is not really for the button mashers of Street Fighter or Call of Duty or whatever. This is just you got to be very clever at how you fight certain opponents. When I was there was a circle of 20 guys around me, and you can't just use counter attack for each guy because some soldiers are better, like the ones with axes or spears especially. So I mean, what I tended to do was just press X on the PlayStation and just kick them in the nuts, and then just smash them down with my sword. So each opponent is different, and how you kill them. So for anyone who gets frustrated easily, who doesn't have the time to play this game properly, this isn't the game for you. But all those people like to think very carefully on how they like to proceed with the game. I mean, this is perfect, and I love being stealthy and being calculative when I'm playing. So this is great.
I think that one of the reasons that the controls probably feel so dense is because in Assassin's Creed 2, they started you out very minimally and then kind of amped it up as the game went on. And since this is kind of starting, since this game's always been kind of unclear as far as, at least to me, what it was before it came out, but they give you, the full control set of all the counters and picking up weapons and stuff like that from the very beginning of the game so that people who have played Assassin's Creed 2 can just jump right in. Yeah. But unfortunately, it doesn't lend itself well to people who are picking this up as their first entry into the series.
Yeah.
Well, in this, they've already established the world and the character in Assassin's Creed 2. And it already has a huge fan base. So I'm glad they didn't really see the need for that. And if you haven't played Assassin's Creed 2, I think you should anyway, because it's a really good game. It's not that old. It's only a year. It only came out a year ago. So
yeah. Well, the other thing about being new to this game is, like I said, you have to really be ready to invest some time, and also you have to pay attention to what whatever it is that you're given, what task you're given to do, because there's so many side missions in this game. I mean, that's why I got weighed down, because sometimes I would get lost on what I'm supposed to do, and I just wander into like a side mission, and just like, and then in the middle.
Ooh, brothel.
Yeah, yeah. You want me to rescue some hoes? Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, when you're refurbishing buildings, you can pick if you do it for the mercenary faction, the thief faction, or the courtesan, the whore faction. I was doing my damnedest to turn Rome into one big whorehouse.
Oh yeah. Believe me, I was too. In fact, I never got angry in this game when they slit some prostitute's throat. I was mad. How dare you ruin a piece of good ass right there?
It's a damn shame what they did to that white woman.
All of Rome will pay. I set that fucking town on fire. No, it's you really have to pay attention, because I was doing stuff like in the middle of it. I was just like, it was like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. I was given something to do, and I would start doing it in the middle of walking. I was like, hey, wait a minute, I don't have to do this. And I just
I mean, in order to finish this game on time for the review, I skipped all the side missions I could. I mean, of course, I get distracted every now and again, but if I was playing this properly, I wouldn't have finished it by now, because there's such good side missions, like especially with the destroying Leonardo da Vinci's war machines he's created for the enemy army.
Those are great missions.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
definitely. You got like these steampunk missions to destroy Leonardo da Vinci's contraptions that he's been making
based on actual historical designs.
Yeah. Like, well, okay. So does that include like the Gatling gun on the horse?
Yeah, like the first ever machine gun.
Did he really do that? He put a Gatling gun on a horse?
No, he did the tank and the flying machine. I don't know about the machine gun on the horse.
The machine
gun.
He
might have done, because he did a lot of drawings of ideas like how to do these kind of weapons, and so I would be surprised. Yeah.
So he could have actually have made a semi-automatic horse. Yeah.
I mean, semi-automatic. I mean, like, you mean the gun, not the horse.
Oh man, Leonardo da Vinci created that horse from Jonah Hex hundreds of years before the movie.
See, that movie was historically accurate then.
He was a genius.
He did make like an early version, of the idea of a helicopter or a plane. Tank,
I was so pissed off that helicopter wasn't in the game. I was like, of all the stuff to use it of Leonardo da Vinci's designs, I wanted the Apache Leonardo da Vinci chopper to straight Rome.
Well, you know what? Some people, Leonardo da Vinci.
Like Rambo and his gunship, but it's made of paper.
By the way, I have been saying Leonardo da Vinci, right? I have not been saying Leonardo DiCaprio at any point.
It doesn't matter. You could have been saying Leonardo the Ninja Turtle, which would have been much cooler.
Yeah, cool, as long as you guys are all right with it. Now, as we're talking about, one of the things that you can do that you haven't been able to do in any of the previous games is that you can go and you can recruit assassins, and these are civilians that you help out and then you train them the art of assassinating. Now, in the previous games, you could recruit thieves and people to help you out with certain things, but never anybody to really kill anyone. Am I correct here?
Well, the
no,
mercenaries.
You could. I think so. Yeah, you're right.
The mercenaries will do that. If you hire just a mercenary faction off the street, they'll go kill guards. But nobody that was, once they get used up, they're gone. Nobody as persistent as the assassins in this game.
Yeah, so you can like be on top of a rooftop or something, and you can just point out a guard, and some ninja dude will jump out and take care of him for you. Which now I heard, like, Jeff, you were talking about how much you love doing this, and
definitely.
And some people, and this isn't me talking about you, Jeff, but some people would just call you fucking lazy. But that's not me.
I was lazy. It was awesome, man.
Yeah, it was the best part. You're just walking down the street as the assassin master. Like, you just see some guards. You don't want to mess with them. Just whistle and fucking ninjas jump out of nowhere and take care of business. You just keep walking down the street.
That is so gratifying when you do that. I don't like putting them on the line, though, in heavy situations, because sometimes they get killed and you got to start over, because you can level them up, give them better armor, better weapons, and stuff like that. But, oh, man, it's like that scene in, did you guys ever see Curse of the Golden Flower, where the emperor or whoever is standing there, and his son comes to claim the throne, and he just, like, flips his arm to the side or something, and ninjas come from the ceiling and kick some ass, and then they're gone.
No, I haven't seen Curse of the Golden Flower. Is that an Asian film or martial arts film?
Yeah, it's a kind of a wuxia. It's very colorful. Looks like everything's made out of candy, but it's got ceiling ninjas in it, which is better than ceiling cat. You fucking lol cat.
I was gonna say, Nick, just say that title to yourself, or say it in a certain dialect. Say like Curse of the Golden Flower. Yes, of course it's a
Curse of the Golden Flower.
Yeah, of course it's an Asian film.
Inscrutable Nick Hodges.
Yeah.
but okay, I was just giving you a hard time, Jeff, because some people say that you can use these assassins as a crutch, and they say it kind of takes away from the challenge of the game after a certain point.
You can't consistently keep doing it though. Like you have like meters on the top left corner of the screen. So one assassin kill is like 1 meter. So and you have to wait for them to charge up again. But it's just after you just escape from a place and you just can't be bothered. You're just like, oh, shank him. I just want to get out of here and have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say that I mean, when you first get them, it takes a while to get them leveled up to the point where you can effectively use them without having to worry about them ever dying and babysit them, make sure they don't get killed.
Yeah.
But then there's
really careful with them.
Yeah, but then there's some parts in the game where, there's, I haven't even really talked about this yet, but I mean, all the missions in the game have a secondary objective to get 100% synchronization on the mission. And some of that stuff involves like never being seen killing anybody or, never killing anybody, but you can still use these guys to kind of get around certain obstacles. So I guess it does make the game easier, but I probably spent 4 or 5 hours just leveling those guys up specifically for that purpose.
You can also send them out on contracts elsewhere in Europe. Like, for example, since Italy's being threatened by, I think it's the Papal States Army and also the French Army, if you send your assassins to Paris to cause like a riot or something there, that will really affect the outcome of the game, which I thought was good. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's why you're destroying these war machines that Leonardo da Vinci's made for the enemy army.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's a big climactic battle at the end.
So I'm trying to do all of those assassin missions. I'm trying to finish all of those and level my my posse up.
Yeah. It affects the politics of the world, and it really does help out.
Yeah, no, you get a bargain for this game if you are willing to put in the time. I mean, it's because there's just so much stuff to do, and in addition, I mean, there's so many different ways of playing it. You can go out and you can be aggressive. You can take all these missions on, or as I said, you can be stealthy and blend in with the crowd. Which I still don't understand how you do that, because I mean, even for walking around in the Renaissance area, I mean, this guy has the most flamboyant robe out of anybody. I mean,
see, that's the thing. I was just about to bring that up. That kills me. He's the most conspicuous guy in all of Rome, and he's supposed to be the secretive assassin. He's dressed like Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Oh yeah, no, he's one of the first history's first drag queen. I mean, he's just walking around like he's going to a Kiss concert or something. And I'm like, how the fuck can you not see this guy? I don't care what you do.
Let me see the guy in the flowing robes and the cape with all the weapons who's leaping across the rooftops. Oh, no, I'm sure he's just a tailor.
And he's wearing a white robe as well. That makes him stick out in a Renaissance period when everyone was wearing like browns and reds and greens, really, really bright colors. And he's the only one dressed in white. I've never seen any other character in the game that was dressed in white.
Oh, yeah. Imagine somebody wanted for murder, and they just decided to walk in the middle of downtown in a crowd of people in a Batman outfit. That's what this guy's like. I mean, that never made any sense to me. But hey, look, it's a video game. None of that stuff's supposed to make sense.
Dressed up like Ninja Liberace.
Yeah. I know when he jumps at it, people are like, "Hey!"
Look at this robe. Isn't it fabulous?
You can though dye your clothes if they're noisy. Like I dyed my clothes like dark green and stuff like that. So the way you can customize your character. It does help out with the game.
Yeah, but no matter how you customize your character, you still look like a Mardi Gras Jedi.
Yeah, but you don't look as much as an obvious target, like, because there are loads of people who do wear hooded robes and stuff like that, but you don't have to be bright white.
No,
you know?
man, it looks like you out there trying to start the New York Day Gay Parade. It doesn't matter, man.
One thing that cracked me up about the game is, and this is just another kind of silly aspect that doesn't really make sense. Whenever you build your notoriety up, whenever you do something illegal, the guards notice it, and your notoriety, they become more sensitive to you, so they're more apt to react to you.
Yeah.
And you can decrease your notoriety by bribing people, killing witnesses, or tearing down wanted posters. And these wanted posters are posted in the most random places. It's like, you're going to post a wanted poster, maybe do it at the post office or a bank. This is like in a balcony, 7 stories up, that has no access unless you're some sort of parkour ninja assassin. It's like, oh, put the wanted poster up here. Like, who does this? It's like those people who get paid to go out and put band posters up on street signs and lampposts and stuff like that. But they're doing it like ninjas, crawling around. Like, you know what would be really effective? If we put this poster 90 feet in the air on a balcony that has no window.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen some of the civilians in the game, like that fat lady, just like they spy the poster, drop everything, and start parkour ninjaing up the side of the building like a big group of fucking farmers and shit looking at the poster.
Yeah. You wonder why they can't catch this guy. That was perfect, Jason. It's just kind of like, you give your posters to one of those guys to like put it up for your band around town. The guy's like, I'm gonna get a lot of people to your show. What I'm gonna do is you're gonna light this. I'm gonna go to the top of the Empire State Building and put your flyer up there. We're gonna get. Hey, what's more beautiful than that? The Empire State Building. It's like
it's the highest point in the city.
Yeah,
come on.
it's a landmark. I mean, come on, how can anybody miss that? It's like, well, when it's on the top of the fucking building, of course everybody's gonna miss it, and that's what they do in this game. I mean, it's supposed to make it strategic for you, but it makes no sense for, I guess for common sense reasons. And
It's like, who put this up?
Oh yeah, and
It's got Spider-Man working for the enemy now.
and it doesn't really matter about those wanted posters because, again, these are dumb video game characters. They can be standing 6 feet in front of you, but if you have a hiding place, you'll jump in that hiding place, and the guy will like turn to his friend and be like, "Hey, where'd he go? I'm gonna find you."
And I know we're bitching about this a lot, but this game is really, really damn good.
Yeah, it is.
All that aside, but like that's one of the things that makes it good. If you're hiding in a haystack and some guy comes over to poke into the haystack, you jerk him into the haystack with you, and nobody sees that poor bastard again.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, both of you come out of it with crumpled clothes, you're buttoning your shirt.
Smoking a cigarette,
Yeah.
He does the Daniel Craig sleeper hold,
Yeah, that guard. That guard is like, "Oh, what happened?" And you're like, "Hey, don't worry about it. You had a good
The worst
time."
assassin ever.
Yeah.
The rapist of Rome.
I got you. But no, it's
I got you now. I'm gonna fuck you. Come over here to this haystack. Let me. How do you say sodomy in Italian?
Apparently you learned how to do it early on in the game, Jason.
Well, I already knew that one anyway, because I travel a lot.
Oh, of course, and you got to get your whores wherever you go.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
it is a good game, man. I didn't get nearly as far as you guys got. I mean, I put in a good probably 15 to 20 hours into this, and I have to say, and it's only because I was doing a lot of side missions. If I had just skipped those and done more, but having done a lot of those side quest and missions, I can tell you, this is if you're willing to just let go of the story, not try to figure it out. And I'm talking about if you're new to the game. If you're willing to have a little patience, if you're willing not to be sort of running gun and charged into the fight type person, use a little tactical skill, you're getting a lot of game for your money here. And you're not only getting a lot of good gameplay, but you're getting a pretty game too. So it's giving you a whole package. As much as I would say it's hard for people to get into who have never played this game, it's a game that's worth buying. I mean, Ubisoft, this was Ubisoft Montreal, right, that did this, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they did a fantastic job with this, man, as far as just giving you your money's worth in this.
Although there are
if you can get through the frustration, it is unquestionably a full price game.
Yeah,
but it is starting to show a bit behind the times. Like, for example, the horses. Like, I'm so used to how good the horses look in Red Dead Redemption, like with their muscles showing, and they're just gorgeous in that. But they're just like really ugly looking. I mean, that's the only thing that's ugly looking about the game is the horses for me.
You know, it's funny because I was going to say like a lot of things looked ugly in this game until I realized like I don't know, it's just a stylistic thing. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I mean like the locations look amazing and the people look all right. It's just because it's building upon a game that came out a year ago and technology is moving so fast. It does look a little bit out of date, but the story and the gameplay really make up for that.
God damn, boy, leave it up to Nick. To find a criticism in a game like, well, the horse wasn't muscular enough.
Well, no. I'm a massive fan of this franchise.
Horses, apparently.
Of horse sex, apparently.
Shut it. Basically, no, but it's a really, really good game, and I'm not gonna stand for like people complaining about little things in the gameplay. I'm just saying that that's the only negative thing I can think of about this. Okay?
I was going to say, don't let Nick onto your farm because Nick will go around feeling up every horse, seeing how their musculature is.
It's so muscular.
and don't let Korey and Jason into your house because they will rape you. So.
But we'll speak sweet, sweet Italian to you before we do it.
Don't call it rape. Call it Italian lovemaking.
Yeah, of course. When you're speaking
Italian.
So you say it's a full price game, Nick?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And Jeff?
100%. And I was actually wildly surprised by the multiplayer, and I didn't expect to like that as much.
Yeah,
as
tell us about the multiplayer. There's 4 modes of multiplayer in this, right?
I think I've only messed with 3 so far, and I know they have some variants in it, but it's actually a really interesting concept because you have to have at least 6 to 8 people to play it, which has been a little bit of a stumbling block just in getting into games. But basically, at the beginning of the round, everybody picks a specific character model. So there's like a Harlequin and a guy that kind of looks like Ezio and a guard and stuff like that. And then once everybody's picked their individual avatar, it starts in the level, and the level is completely populated with nothing but those characters. So all of the NPCs in the level walking around look like the same 6 characters that you've picked with the other people in multiplayer. And then there's a couple different modes, but the most common one's called Wanted. And in that one, you have an assassination target. So you basically know what model you're looking for. So you're looking for like the Harlequin. And then you also usually have one person that's hunting you. But it's incredibly kind of atmospheric because you get more points the stealthier your kills are. So the best way to play the game is to walk around very slowly, trying to look as much like the computer as humanly possible while trying to find the person that you're supposed to assassinate. And if you can get it to the point where, you can angle it so that you two walk by each other and you stick them with the hidden blade right when they walk by, you get a whole ton of points. I mean, you can go sprinting after them, but then they get a chance. They know that you're after them and they can run away and stuff like that. But
so potentially the game could be over like in a few seconds. Like if all 4 of you recognize each other at the same time.
Well, no, whenever you get killed, you respawn.
Okay.
And there's also another layer to it where it gets, the longer you play, it changes because as you are on the leaderboard higher up in rank, you'll get more people hunting you. So if you're in first place, you'll have 4 other players that are trying to just assassinate you. Whereas if you're lower down, you'll have fewer or sometimes no other people hunting you.
So it's a pretty unique.
I gotta say, this is one of the most unique multiplayer experiences out there.
You just said what I was going to say, Jason. I'm going to sound like this is a very unique approach to multiplayer. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, well, it's not just run out there and just start kicking ass. You've got to be careful. You've got to be very observant. But don't be too careful because sometimes you're going to have to run. It's like, oh, shit, they're here. They're on my ass. Go, go, go. Hide. Because they'll catch you. And you can disable them, but it's a lot easier to kill someone than it is to stop someone trying to kill you. And it's just really creative the way they do it because you're just walking around through this crowd and it could be anyone. And you've got some vague idea of who it is, something along the lines of warmer, cold, oh, you're dead.
Well, you just can't look for the person in the drag queen robe who's walking around too.
No,
I mean, it seems like you easily find each other.
They all look like they could be an assassin because there's so many different play types to choose from.
Gotcha.
yeah, it's really, really cool.
So see, even in the multiplayer, people, not only are you getting more gameplay there, but you're getting, as we just said, a very unique approach, an imaginative approach on multiplayer. Yeah, game looks really cool, man. And it's one of those few games where even if I haven't finished, I will move on to another game and just kind of forget about that last game. But I'm looking forward to really playing this game, because even if you're not used to the game and it's frustrating, you're going to start to get some sense of satisfaction as you learn all the strategies it takes to fight in this game and to get around in the world. So yeah, it's a great game. Can't recommend it enough for people. It's really one of the highlights of the year for me so far. I don't know if it's like one of the best games. I haven't even played every game that could qualify for that, but it would be up there in like my top 10 games this year. I don't know.
I'd agree with that.
I would say it's
definitely.
I would say it's in my top 5. Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah. So far.
And speaking of the horses, we forgot to mention one of the things that you could do in this game that you couldn't do in the previous games, that you can actually, I think, ride your horse around more openly in this world than you could before.
You could in the previous games, you could only ride your horses outside the city and stuff. So that's the only inclusion. But like, when I'm playing, I'm like, oh, cool, I get to ride my horse in the city. I'm like, oh, I could fucking run faster than this, because there's so many corners and back alleys that you have to, maneuver your horse into. That I just gave up and just started going the old-fashioned way of running across rooftops.
By the way, I feel sorry for that horse that Nick has to ride to the whole game, because all Nick is going to do is whisper in that horse's ear, you're not as beautiful as the horse in Red Dead Redemption. You know that, right?
Yeah, you're not a unicorn. You know that. Where's your rainbow?
You're a unicorn with a rainbow coming out of your ass.
Once the Templars had what they were looking for, they decided my usefulness had come to an end. But Lucy saved me. Lucy. When things were at their worst, she revealed herself to be an assassin and helped me escape. I was hoping that would be the end of my misadventures, but we were just getting started.